A couple of medical notes here I want to get into. And I'm trying to lower the cholesterol and do the right thing when it comes to eating right and losing weight and all that. And, that's a lifelong effort for me. It's just a roller coaster. Yesterday, I believe God was intercepting yesterday because I made the terrible decision because I've been doing so well. And you just get into that mood, and it's like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going through the drive-thru.
Oh, no.
I'm going to go through the drive-thru, and I'm going to go through the drive-thru. And all I want is 2 double cheeseburgers, which I'm craving. Probably craving right now, as a matter of fact. So I go through the drive-thru, and I had left everything home except for I have a credit card that was sitting in my cup holder. So I'm like, I don't have any cash. I don't have any credit cards. I don't have anything. I have one credit card. And the credit card has been kind of acting up a little bit. So I go through and I order my 2 double cheeseburgers, and there were 2 filet fish sandwiches as well. But I got those for my son. Okay? So I'm going through and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do it. So I'm leaving the station, and as I'm leaving, I did not make that turn up Genesee Street to go up to McDonald's. I got onto 5S, but then by the time I got back into the valley, I said, well, there's a McDonald's, so I went. So here I am at the drive-thru, and I order my stuff, and everything's going fine, and God intercepted. My credit card would not swipe. She could not get it. She's putting paper over the magnetic strip. She's swiping it again. She's, hold on a second. Now there's a line behind me. It's beginning to be uncomfortable. And I said, well, can't you just punch it in? And she said they can't punch it. They don't punch it in at McDonald's anymore. It must be the electronics.
It's identity theft, stuff.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, so that if you get somebody's number, you have to have the physical card.
Got to have the physical card. Nope, we can't do that, she said. I wish we could. So I'm like, all right, well, and so I'm just about to say, listen, just cancel the order. I'm so sorry. I'll go back and get cash or something. And I wouldn't have. I would have made the right decision and not eaten the 2 double cheeseburgers. And ultimately 1 filet of fish by the time the day was over. Why would my son not eat both of them that I got him? I don't know. Anyway, so the woman came back and said, I'm sorry, this card won't work. But today's your lucky day. It's on us. Yeah. So God was stepping in, and then the devil swooped right in and gave me my double cheeseburgers.
Well, interesting that you talked about the credit card there, because this has gone on for at least a month.
Second time this card, it's a bank card. It's not. This one isn't even a credit card. Second time that this hasn't.
Do you have
an
alligator skin wallet or
no? It's a
eel skin wallet. Eel skin.
Is it a local credit union?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So for about a month, I've been going through this, that my card would get rejected everywhere. And I'm like...
Is it getting rejected or not?
It's declined.
Mine isn't even reading. Mine isn't declining. It's the one that won't read it.
It keeps saying declined. And I'm like, I know what my limit is, and I know I'm not anywhere near it.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's going on. So I'm thinking the reader. Something's wrong with the stripe or whatever. So I happened to we got paid earlier this week. I happened to stop in there. And I said, let me just ask you a question. And I pulled out the card.
Yeah.
And she goes, what are you doing with that dinosaur? As a joke.
Oh, it's an old one.
Because they recently, within the last couple months, it was a joke. They recently reissued, but they have the chip in them.
Yeah, mine doesn't have the chip.
Yeah, what they had issued.
But mine's a brand new card. I got it a month ago.
Oh, you did? Okay.
It's a month old.
I think maybe what it is that all the stores, a lot of the places are going with the chip readers. So if you don't have the chip reader, then it's confirmation.
This card is bad because I've had the same problem other places. And I tried to use it this morning at the gas station, and it wouldn't even register it. So the card has got to be bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, because believe me, the gas station I go to, they don't have new equipment. It's not new. I can pretty much guarantee you.
And the chip is more a consumer protection than a retailer feature.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, here's part 2 of my little medical, not that was overly medical, but I'm doing this sleep study. And I spoke with Dr. Levine. And Dr. Levine is doing the sleep study through the Mohawk Valley Health Network. And so they think that there's sleep apnea, which is the big thing that a lot of people do have. And, you're tired during the day, you wake up with headaches, that sort of thing. Could it be sleep apnea? We'll find out. So I'm going through this sleep study. But on top of it, I have talked about here several times about these night terrors and these dreams that end up being acted out. And he's telling me they're not night terrors. It's a thing called REM disorder. Have you ever heard of it? You have? Well, apparently, I was reading up on it. It's crazy. It's like, but that's what he thinks it is. Now, it'll all unfold here because the doctor's going to reveal everything to me on the radio. So, like, if I'm dying,
you're so
if
brave.
I am dying and there's something that he finds that there's death in my future, which I guess there is, we'll have it revealed here on the radio on Thursday morning. But the doc will be on Tuesday to talk about the whole process.
And all your HIPAA stuff, you're good with all this?
I'm signing off on. I told him I'll sign off on anything. He said, "Are you? What if I find something that's? I don't care. You can run with whatever you have."
Ooh.
So, but what's a sleep doctor going to find? He's not going to find anything. Other than, I have this psychosis in the middle of the night when I sleep.
Look, don't be challenging God at this point, because if God's intervening at McDonald's.
Yeah, it's a very good point, Christine. Very, very good point.
Well, in fact, I believe it was the devil who intervened, though.
I believe it. Well, I think they were both fighting over me there for just a little bit.
God lost that battle.
Yeah. A homeless man in San Francisco just received a $100,000 reward for helping police capture 2 men who'd escaped from jail back in January. They saw them outside of Whole Foods and recognized them from a news story, so he called the cops. What is the world coming to when you can't even trust that the homeless guys aren't up on their missing fugitive stories? Mm-hmm. Well, what's the guy? The guy sits around all day and he's asking for money, and, of course, he reads the newspapers.
Wait, and the guys were going to Whole Foods? So
they were going
healthy
to Whole Foods
criminals.
of all places to go. They're going to a healthy, expensive grocery store. His name is Matthew Hay Chapman. He's getting 2/3 of the full $150,000 reward based on a decision by the Orange County Board of Supervisors. That works out to 55,452 bottles of Mad Dog 2020. The 2 fugitives are Jonathan Tu and Hossein Nayiri, who escaped from the Santa Ana Central Jail in Orange County back on January the 22nd.
I must have missed something. There was a reward offered?
There was a reward, and the guy I don't know that he knew about the reward, but he called police, and there was a reward. He's getting 2/3 of the $100,000.
Why is he only getting 2/3?
I don't know. Maybe they're taking taxes out of him because they've been paying for him for so long. I don't know.
I think that's ridiculous.
Here is the interview that the guy gave. The interesting thing is this guy is really well-spoken. Clearly, he's educated. Why homeless? Why is a guy like this homeless?
And why was he homeless? Why was he living in a car when he had a job?
That was,
Yeah, well, I don't know.
He's like, I used to live in this
thrifted,
van
yeah.
back when I had a job.
Clearly, he worked in radio. He couldn't afford a house.
Well,
that's the only thing I can think.
That could be, but I'm still outraged that they're only giving him 2/3 of the reward.
I know. Yeah, it's a $150,000 reward, and the Orange County Board of Supervisors, they met, and they made a decision. The rest of it is going to be split up between 3 other people because they also were involved in nabbing these 3 criminals.
Is this Orange County, California?
Yeah, and then one other item. If you saw the videos on NBC News last night of the escape, the bumbled escape in Canada, and we talk about guns here and having gun-free zones. Apparently, in Canada, their prisons. They can't. The guys can't carry guns. The guards can't carry guns. So these 2 guys are trying to escape, and all of a sudden a helicopter, which was stolen, swoops in. There's a rope down. These 2 guys are now going to. Here's the theory: they're going to climb up the rope into the helicopter, and they will then swoop off and to freedom. Now, the guards don't have any guns, so they can't shoot the guys. So the guards are basically just sitting there watching this thing, and it's completely bumbled. If you get a chance, go to YouTube. It's up on YouTube. We'll put it into our show notes.
Freeze.
So the guys can't climb up the rope. They can't get quite up the rope.
This is easier in the movies.
That's exactly it. The helicopter. I mean, man, I saw, I don't know, pick one. Pick an adventure star. I saw him do it.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise was doing it on an airplane.
Harrison Ford.
So they cannot quite. So now the helicopter has to land on the roof, and it lands on the roof, and the guys then try again, over and over again, to try to climb up this rope. Finally, again, this is going on for like 10 minutes, and they couldn't get to them, and they have no guns, so they can't shoot anybody, and they finally got into a point where they could hold onto the rope, and it flew off with the guys dangling from the rope. They dropped them at a getaway car, and Christine's mouth is wide open because I don't think you believe me in this story.
I didn't.
It's unbelievable.
Where this is going up in show notes right now.
They got away, and then a few hours
stolen
later,
helicopter.
Or a few hours later, they were actually recaptured, and now they're back in jail.
Can you imagine
a bumbled attempt, but they got away with it.
Can you imagine some guy trying to steal a helicopter? Like the pilot goes into the gas station to fuel up and get a pack of stuff. Hey, wait a minute!
Yeah, that's my helicopter. You can't do that. 6:48. Here's Christine with an update.